Caitlin Clark, the Department of Justice, and quite possibly the President of the United States himself.
So the Wall Street Journal released this article a few days ago. Honestly, I thought it was just a little bit of a joke. I didn't really pay too much attention to it. I didn't think it was going to gain as much traction, but I see now that it is. So an opinion piece was written by someone named Sean McLean, a writer for Wall Street Journal, and he wrote about how the WNBA is violating Caitlin Clark's civil rights and they should open up a federal investigation. This to me is just going next level. At what point does it stop?
Caitlin Clark has done for the women's NBA what Michael Jordan once did for the NBA. Made it more valuable, watchable, and marketable. Instead of protecting its transformative star, the league's leadership ignores the relentless targeting of Ms. Clark, treating its greatest asset as if she were a PR headache. That approach could turn into a legal liability for the WNBA. Remember when I brought up the 2024 U.S. Olympic roster, how she was left off of that, and how stupid that was for Team USA women's basketball to leave her off? Remember I said that? They said this is where they're going now. Ms. Clark's targeting may reflect a culture of disparate treatment, and the evidence provides reasonable cause for a federal probe into potential civil rights violations.
At what point do we stop using Caitlin Clark to just push all these different narratives and agendas? I honestly feel bad for her at this point because this is just really getting out of control. Caitlin Clark, I believe, just wants to play basketball. And instead of her just playing basketball, every time her name is mentioned, it is always in a different conversation than basketball. If you actually watch these ladies play, example right here. Last season, Angel Reese being fouled hard by Alyssa Thomas. These ladies are physical with each other across the board. It is not just specific to Caitlin Clark. Kiki body slammed Sophie earlier this season. This was this season, right? Just body slammed her. Dejanay Carrington. I mean, come on. It is not just specific to Caitlin Clark. Why do we keep acting like she is the only one that is fouled in these games and everybody else just greets one another with smiles and kisses and hugs, and they only treat her with aggressiveness and they played hard nose defense against her, and it's just nobody else who's touched at all in an aggressive manner. Now I will say that the officiating this season has been god awful. It is not consistent across the board. Again, that is not specific to just Caitlin Clark. This is across the board if you watch WNBA games. A lot of you guys, your problem is that you only watch clips and you watch highlights that are put together that only show Caitlin Clark being hurt, and that's why you only feel Caitlin Clark is the only one that is being hurt and just treated and having these rights violated. What about the ladies? In a game earlier this season, I saw Angel Reese, who by the way I love, she fouled Kiki hard. The refs just kept the game going. I mean, Kiki was down on the ground, her head was down, like she was hurt. They did not they didn't blow the whistle, they didn't stop the game. It kept going like she wasn't even on the court. And again, she's black. It's not like she's the the token black chick for the WNBA. It's not Caitlin Clark. My point is that it's not just specific to her. It's the officiating that needs to change across the board in WNBA. But to single Caitlin Clark out and to use her to move political agendas and push these narratives and to get the Department of Justice involved, making this a federal investigation, are we serious? And how does this make Caitlin Clark feel? Because she still is playing WNBA currently. How does she feel, or how will she be looked at amongst her peers if this goes to the president? I mean, out of all the things in the world that can be discussed, that really should be investigated, that we could be working out better laws for and things of that nature, are we really honing in on an investigation pertaining to Caitlin Clark being hard-nosed defense? And why are we still talking about the Olympics? They did not choose her. And again, why did it have to be something that was, we're violating her rights because we don't like the token, the golden goose, the white chick who was coming with all of the fame and all of the money and the revenue, and she's taking the league over? Why does it have to be that? A lot of the complaints last season were about Caitlin Clark and about the defense that was on her. The defense? Have we seen the defense overseas? Like, have we seen that? Like, men and women. The defense, the physicality is different. The way they call the game is different. Was she ready for that level of physicality? Are we talking about Caitlin Clark going to the Olympics because of the revenue or because she was physically ready to handle that? There's a huge difference if you ask me. And it doesn't mean that Caitlin Clark is not talented and that she shouldn't be treated with respect, because all the ladies in WNBA should be. But a lot of the conversation was, oh, the studs are mad because she's straight, as if Caitlin Clark would have been the only straight one on the team. There were a lot of talented players that were left off of that roster, not just Caitlin Clark. A lot of you guys are just using this young lady because of the money that she brings in, the viewership and the eyes. Y'all don't really give a damn about her at all as a person, because all of these different narratives and agendas that she's being used for are completely like just silly and crazy. Have you ever stopped to think about how this actually makes her feel? Like, you're putting more of a target on her back and making her the poster child for civil rights. This is unnecessary, it's completely foolish and ridiculous, and it needs to stop.